So one is Gundogan, who's the turn ticket. So we'll discuss, where does he fit into the team and what kind of formation maybe does it change. Like maybe I'll say something like what Pep is doing at City, like a 3-2-2-3 kind of thing, or where does he fit and what does he bring to the team. Then we focus on Brozovic, the pivot that Rishabh loves. Um, Whether we're able to sign him, and if we do, what kind of lineup are we looking at, formation and everything. Then we move on to maybe Arda, whom I love, of course. And then we move on to Vitor, who is almost done. And then we can see maybe a right back or something. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
We can talk about Frisenda and Ivan and this guy Arnaud Martinez and stuff. Concern. Player sales also we can discuss. Like I think Longley and Jesse.
Yeah, we can go with the flow. Like, first we will be starting with Gundogan.
We can conclude with player sales, I believe, because that sale seems to be not happening, and we have no news only. Who is the most likely first player to be sold? It seems like Longley, but it does not seem like it also. So we can start whenever you're ready, guys.
Yeah, we are ready.
All right. So Rishabh,
So did Rishabh left?
yeah, Rishabh, my scout.
Okay, no worries. Then I will start. Uh, he will be joining soon. Oh, okay, he's here. Hey, hi Rishabh.
Yeah, it seems to be working fine now.
Yeah, it's fine. So let's start, guys. Then.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
finally we
hello.
are back here
Um,
for the
yeah,
podcast,
go.
or say after a long hiatus, and the transfer window opens officially in around 1 week on 1st July. But at the club, they are already starting to make moves with the signings of Ilkay Gundogan, which is a done deal in the absence of an official announcement. And they are also striving to make other inroads, such as Vitor Roque or Marcelo Brozovic in the recent days. And so we'll start with Ilkay Gundogan, which is obviously the done deal. He has signed the documents, the contracts, and now since he's in a vacation period, he just played for Germany in the recently concluded friendlies, which Germany lost, obviously. And now he'll return to Manchester City to say goodbye to his friends, and then he'll be announced as a new Barcelona player. So we'll start with Pulkit. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on Ilkay Gundogan, and how do you see him fitting in?
Yeah. Yeah, hey Rishabh. So before pre-season calls me an ageist, which he'll do up most probably. So I would say that it's a great signing. Of course, he has proved himself to be a wonderful captain, leader of the team in the last that season just ended. He was instrumental in getting Pep the well deserved treble after so many years at Man City, finally winning the UCL. Although, albeit it was a very nervy sort of game against Inter, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So yeah, I think he brings a lot to the team in terms of reshaping our midfield, because we have a young midfield, barring De Jong, of course. It can be a great. Um, Pedri and Gavi can learn a lot from him, I believe, and with him in the team. We have someone finally to take free kicks. What was Rishabh? Our last free kick was taken by Messi that he scored, was it? After that,
More
we've
than two
not
years
been able
ago.
to. Yeah, we've not been able to score from a set piece correctly. So finally, we have someone for that. He can of course play in several positions. He can play as a 10, as an 8, and it's a wonderful, wonderful signing. Of course, Arsenal were after him. He had maybe other offers as well, but he chose Barca like a lot of players do. So wonderful for me. And Season, if you were to add something to it.
You're asking me, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. It's definitely one of the. Uh, I, what could I say? It's absolutely. Can't even imagine that we got someone like him for free. Like,
yeah.
so he has been such an integral part of Pep Guardiola's system over the years, and uh, he has brought so much experience and technicality into what Pep was missing in the Champions League for all these years, and
Mm-hmm.
he just took it up to a whole different level this year, and it really helped them out in the knockout stages because they needed someone like him to step up, and he stepped up, and boy did he step up
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in that regard. So I'm really, for me, it's a 10 out of 10 signing because it's definitely this signing is definitely going to make us a lot better than the previous season.
True. Yeah. So Shivam, your thoughts on Gundogan to Barca?
Yeah, sure. From my view, also he is one of the signings that we needed in recent years. The style of play that Gundogan plays really makes him a good fit for Barcelona team. And if we look into his this technical abilities that Gundogan possesses, I think it really suits the team that currently Barcelona is playing right now. And from my point of view, we can definitely say that he's one of the midfielders that certainly be able to control the ball, and his close ball manipulations is one of those qualities that current Barca or Xavi's team we can say that
Mm-hmm.
needs. And obviously that we have seen in current Champions League big matches also the big knockouts that his intelligent movement and of the ball and with the ball also the late runs in the box is also very crucial. So
Mm-hmm.
this I think makes him a very good fit for this Barcelona team.
Wonderful, wonderfully analyzed. Abhijit, your thoughts on Gundogan to Barca?
One of the signing for of the season so far. He is the marquee signing for me for the our this season.
Mm.
He is an
True.
experienced campaigner, and we have got a lot of young blood, and we need calm minds to keep in check. After Busi left, we have also have a vacant leadership quality, which Gundogan can fill for our midfielders. He is one of the players that I'm looking forward for more of the pitch things he to teach our youngsters than on the pitch because you know that they having a figure to look up to is a great thing in footballing career. And as in
Mm-hmm.
Barca, in our midfield is one of the youngest midfield. We will need someone who can teach them to how to handle pressure and be best with each passing day. And Gundogan has done that.
Mm.
You will see his play from Dortmund to Man City. There is a lot of change in his playing style. He has adapted very well in his every technique. Plus, he gives up a lot of versatility. Don't get me started on the things this man can do. He's one of the most clutch player I have seen. And plus,
True.
he can do the impossible. He can just score in 13 seconds. He can come off the bench and win you title on the last match day. There are many things he can do, and Barcelona are very good to have pulled this off. It's one of the marquee signing we can do. Plus, there
True.
was a
True.
hole in our pivot situation. We all know that Frankie cannot play as a lone six, so we have Gundogan to help him out as a double pivot.
Mm-hmm.
When we need an interior, when Pedri is injured, then there he comes. If we need rest for Gavi, then here he is. So it's all in all a very good signing, potentially a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow, wow, wonderful, Abhijit. Wonderfully analyzed also. So Rishabh, my man, who loves the mature age of players and the mature players coming in. So what are your thoughts on
Well,
Gundogan to
obviously, a
Barca?
very good signing. The
Yeah,
captain of the treble winning side, who has been one
yeah,
of the best midfielders, definitely in the last season or
yeah.
last 3 seasons, obviously. And the change in role which Pep Guardiola gave him in recent years has made him a better player, definitely. And he has also become a kind of leader in the last 2 3 seasons at Manchester City under Pep. And as I said, one of the best midfielders of this season, of the last 2 3 seasons, and getting him on a free transfer is definitely great. And this is one of the things which we lacked last season, the squad depth. We saw once Pedri got injured, we struggled to create chances, and that lacked the stability in midfield. And now Gundogan
Mhm.
definitely adds a lot of quality leadership, experience, and those
Yeah, yeah.
creativity, goals from midfield, all those stuff. And yeah, we'll see
Yeah.
how it pans out.
Yeah, I think one thing just I'd like to add to what you said, very right, like the 2 3 years period that you mentioned about Gundogan being one of the best. Uh, I think people do not realize how difficult it is to play under Pep. The kind of expectation Pep has from you, kind of performance you have to show on the field. I mean, he 100 million cash. Jack Grealish was on the bench last season most of the time. Now, of course, he's up and about and he's played really well. He's had a great season. But that just shows that Pep does not care how expensive you are. What were you doing before you joined City? It's just with the kind of dedication, the intensity, game in game out that Pep demands from a player, and Gundogan to have that intensity in his mind, in his football brain for so long, and being a leader and proving himself is just wonderful. And that kind of a beast of a player is what we are getting for free. So this, I think, needs to be highlighted for us fans who are thinking, okay, Gundogan is past his best or whatever, they might be thinking of his age and stuff. So yeah, so that's of course one thing to talk about. So yeah, the other free signing Rishabh is of course a done deal is Inigo Martinez, but there was some problem with his medical. What was that, Rishabh?
So I don't think it was anything major as far
Yeah.
as concerning is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a major minor surgery, and he's expected to be out for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then he'll resume normal training. And again, Inigo
Mm-hmm.
Martin is another great signing, although he's into his 30s as well. But as we
Yeah.
saw last season, once we had Kunde, Christensen, and Araujo, all three of them out together, and we faced Inter Milan, and then we all know what happened in that game. Both Eric
Mm-hmm.
Garcia and Pique had a very poor performance. And
Mm-hmm.
Inigo Martin is definitely an upgrade over both Eric Garcia and the version of Pique which we saw last season.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And also we saw Marcos Alonso playing as a centre back, and Inigo certainly adds more to that position,
Yes,
and
yes.
he's a left-footed centre back which Xavi wanted in the squad, and another
Yeah.
great addition to the squad depth which we were speaking about a while ago.
Yeah, definitely. I think we need, you see, again, going to take the example of Man City. The fact that they were able to win the treble was because of the massive squad depth. You see a lot of Premier League clubs also doing this, like Arsenal buying Havertz for 60 odd million. So, yeah. So, basically, we need that kind of squad depth if we want to compete for all competitions because gets intense. So we need backups. We need good backups rather on the bench also, and this also encourages competition for a place in the starting lineup. So it's a healthy competition that way. So that we need. If anyone has any thoughts about Inigo, you can share because of course he also has to be announced. That's it.
Yeah, so I will take this. Yeah, for my view, like Inigo is like a very valuable addition to this Barcelona defense. I think his leadership and the communications that he shows on the field will be very crucial when he will be starting with this Barca team. Because his
Mm.
ball playing abilities that we see, that versatility in the defense, like he can play with the high defense and I will see his the things that he needs to track back and be the last man to get the ball or just like we see this season that how he is performing. Apart from his injuries, like if he stays fit, I think he can be a
Mm.
in the positions to tackle the problems that Barcelona currently faces when a certain center back gets injured. And apart from
Mm.
that, we can say that he's a very good addition and he is a very good in positioning and the area abilities that we see and the tackling skills that he possesses are very good. So I think that he's a very good addition to this team.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're very right about the injuries because you see he's in this medical also. He's shown as injured, so that's a little bit of concern. We'll see, of course. We'll see if Xavi can make players better. We have to see that, like with other managers, like Johnston's playing that as a DM. I mean, wonderful. So let's see. Um, so can we move on to the next signing, Rishabh? Next potential signing, sorry.
We already discussed about one Champions League finalist and their captain, and let's move on to another, that is Marcelo
Yeah,
Brozovic,
yeah.
and desired pivot signing right now after finally Barca realized that both Kimmich and Zubimendi are out of their reach and unfeasible.
Yeah.
And to me, Brozovic would definitely be a great addition to the squad, and we saw him in the two finals, in the Champions League final as well as the Nations League final, how good he can be. And another player who just entered into his 30s, but he can still run a lot. He puts in a lot of efforts, hard work. He's great in winning the ball back. Even his passing range is pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
And in the World Cup, he was among the players, or I guess he was the player who covered the most distance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I mean, the impossible dream was obviously Kimmich, and we know Bayern were hell bent, and they don't sell him for easy. And I don't see Kimmich making a move like Lewandowski did last season to force a move out of Bayern as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Zubimendi,
Mm-hmm.
we know that he's a homegrown boy at Real Sociedad, and after this qualified for the Champions League this season, it makes it even more difficult for him to leave his
Mm-hmm.
boyhood club and join Barcelona. So I guess other than other options, and I believe Brozovic would be a great addition to the squad. And the other options, who are they? Guido Rodriguez, Danny Parejo, they're just not meant to be those
Yeah,
signings which we
definitely.
decided to make right now.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
definitely Brozovic would be a great addition to the squad as well. And we'll see how it goes out. Like Al Nassr have made a multi-million-dollar proposal to him. Like it's like 30 million euros net per season, and
Mm.
he's thinking about it. And we definitely can't compete with the Saudi Arabian club, and we have to convince him through sporting matters and stuff like that. And we know how good Xavi can be in that, like he did last season with Lewandowski, Kunde, Rafinha, everyone. He convinced them to join Barcelona over other proposals. And let's hope that he does the same with Brozovic now.
Yeah, I think I got pointed out, and I think there'll be a transfer fee also around 15-20 million that we have to pay Inter out.
Yeah, because I
If
guess Brozovic is still under contract at Inter Milan, and
yeah,
they want to sign Fratesi from Sassuolo, and for that they
yeah,
need money, and they have decided to
yeah,
sell Brozovic, and they want like 20-25 millions for that.
yeah, or maybe if we have a, which is an unlikely scenario, that we have a swap deal with Kessie going the other way, but that does not seem to be feasible. I believe so. We have to see about that. So that's a great signing for sure. We need that player, we need that pivot because we have to replace Busquets. If not now, with a long-term replacement, we can probably think about the next 2 seasons at least, and then think of maybe Fabrizio Diaz or other players out there whom we are linked with. Of course, they're very young; they need to develop. So if we manage to sign them now, also maybe they can learn from the players like Kundu and Frankie and Brozovic if he signs for us, and then of course it can be a good transition, but that remains to be seen. But I agree with you, man. Brozovic was one of the key players for Inter in that Champions League final. I mean, Inter owned Man City. The only reason Inter lost was because they missed the 2-3 chances that they got. Remember that Kanji defensive error almost led to a goal. Lukaku almost scored with that header
Let's
as well.
not forget the fact that Lukaku defended for City.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, he was their 12th player, like we have with Madrid with the referees. Uh, all the time. So that's, I mean, Bros was one of the key players for Simone Inzaghi, if I'm pronouncing him correctly. So yeah. So your thoughts, please, on Bros. He just,
Of course. uh, I actually I wanted for someone like him to join the club because if we're looking for a long-term solution to this pivot problem, so uh, it would be better for it would be better for us to have someone like him on the short term, and then slowly build up the longer term replacement under his wing, right? So under his wing, a player who would be on the younger side, and he would rotate with Brozovic and could play
Mm.
along with him, so, which would both help both him and the player and the younger player. So in that sense, it's a very good target, but I don't know how realistic it is as of now, because as we know, Saudi clubs are very very aggressive in the transfer
Yeah,
market at
yeah,
the moment,
it's crazy. What they're doing is
and
insane.
they we don't even know what kind of lengths they might go to just to secure his signing, right? So uh,
Yeah.
I think if we try properly, he might say yes to us, because what player does not want to continue in Europe, and on top of that in Barcelona, right?
True,
So
true. The kind of
so
pull we have is on the kind of reputation the both El Clasico clubs have. I
yeah,
mean,
exactly,
it's wonderful. I mean, players do because chance to play for either of them comes once in a lifetime, and that's very rare, right? So a player who has that opportunity will never deny it. Look at Bellingham,
exactly.
look at Camavinga, look at Chouameni, look at Fede Valverde, look at Pedri. They,
Recent example. Look at Lewandowski, right?
yeah, Lewandowski. So
Lewandowski had
Rafinha, he also waited
Lewandowski
for
had
us.
literally everything in Bayern, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But the first chance he got, he just jumped over ship, right?
yeah, definitely. Players like Rafinha, who waited for us, who were getting better offers. I
Exactly.
mean, so we'll have to see how which the saga goes. Any thoughts, Shivam or Abhijit, on this?
Shivam, you going first or should I?
Yeah, yeah, go on.
Look, if you ask me, Brozovic is the last missing piece in our best midfield we have in ages. Because
Yeah.
after Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets retired, we didn't have such a versatility in our midfield. Look now, if we see our midfield, we have already have Pedri, Gavi, Frenkie, all different profiles from each other. With the addition of Gundogan, there is also a one-way experienced campaigner. And if we had Brozo as a pivot position, that might do wonders for us. Because you see that Barcelona has been doing poorly in last two Champions League. If we had Brozo, then there comes a much more pressureless situation in the midfield. With such a
Mm.
good field, we can not dominate Europe, I will say, but we can compete with them.
Mm.
And as far as the transfers are going, that Saudi is flashing huge money. Look, players have to choose for them. If they want to go to Saudi for money, it's for them. But if they want to stay at the peak of the football, they can play in Europe. There are many players who choose passion over money, and I am hopeful Bozo will make a good choice because Barcelona is not any team. It's Barcelona we are talking about. We are one of the UF footballing royalty in the footballing world. Every player once upon a time dreams for play for us. Every kid growing up has a dream to play for a big club. Bozo might have had other club, but definitely Barcelona is among one of the top clubs. Even in our law, we are bigger than many.
Mm-hmm.
And and Brozo, you know that we want know that winter is selling, so we just have to make the right offer at the right price and then the right way to convince him. If you ask me, we have delayed a bit, but we cannot delay more. We have to be more offensive in pursuing the Brozo. Because if he comes, then the midfield is stacked for Xavi to do his wonders.
Mm. That's true. That's true. Shivam, your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, I will add something. Yes, like when we are talking about Brozovic here, so we are talking about the profile that Barcelona actually needs in a pivot position. So I think the playing style that Brozovic possesses, that's very good. It's very similar to what Busquets used to do, like pressing the opponents and doing some good tackles to regain the position. So if he really decides to come to Barcelona team, it will be a very good addition to this team because the defensive contributions that we have seen in recent matches from him is like definitely very good. And as Rishabh said, he covered most of the grounds in one of the matches. That was very commendable. And the passing and vision that he has, I think that is what Barcelona really needs now. I think we'll be adding someone more a younger DMF with him so that he can really scoop and he can develop under him. So that will be a very good for our future. And if really joins us, then also the leadership will be much enhanced in this team. Also, if because some of the old guards have left, and with the youngsters, we need someone to get that leadership in this team. So I think yeah, if he comes, he will be a very good addition.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So
Okay,
let's go
let
with
me be the host for a change. Now I am going to ask one of the diehard fans of Victor Rook, Mr. Pulkit, to tell his view on Victor Rook signing. He is a prospect for future, but what made you such a huge fan of him? What have you seen in that
I
18-year-old
mean,
boy that we haven't seen?
the man was, oh no, the kid was the highest joint top scorer maybe with Andre Santos in the under 21 World Cup, was it? With Brazil, that Brazil, of course, lifted the trophy off. And so there are a few things, okay? His profile is exactly what we need after Lewandowski, I believe, when he decides to move on. And in our recent years, number nine has been an issue for us. We've not been able to, have a pure nine. And where are the goals coming from? It's very important to score goals to win matches. And Vitor Roque is, I think, the perfect nine for us. The way the modern age number nine is, who's not just about scoring goals, but build up play also. That Barca also needs. He gets involved. He gets into good positions, makes great runs. He can pass the ball very well. He can participate in playmaking also. He can, just play just in front of the number 10 in a very, very promising way. So I just love him. And the fact that he wants Barca, the fact that just like Rafinha did, he's also waiting for Barca. He, you know, decided not to listen to other offers. He had offers from Chelsea and Arsenal and maybe other clubs as well. But he just only wanted Barca for since very very long, since his childhood. Of course, it was a childhood dream for him. So I just love these kind of people. You know who really wait for Barca, who really want to be here, want to play for the patch, for the club, for the fans, and they want to be a part of this journey. So I love those kind of people. So for me, VR9 is the next RL9. So yeah, that's for me. I mean, I just want him on board. Of course, the deal is very close. The verbal Rishabh, can you tell us about the transfer? How far is it, and what's the latest on Vitor Roque?
Well, I believe that in the financial situation that we are in right now, the club needs to make some strategic bets, and Vitor Roque is certainly one of them. And
Yeah,
Barcelona have missed out on certain Brazilian star wards in the last few years, be it Vinicius Junior or Rodrigo
Rodrigo.
or players like that. And the investments which Bartomeu made in the Brazilian market was really poor, be it Gustavo Maya or Matheus Fernandes, players like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And now Barcelona do want to make a star signing in this Brazilian market, and I think initially they went for Endrick, but Endrick obviously went to Real Madrid for around 70 or 75 millions, and that was certainly not possible for Barcelona to pay that kind of money. And next
mm,
on the list, I believe, was Vitor Roque, and the transfer fee which they have reportedly agreed with Atletico Paranaense is around 35 millions fixed, which will be paid in three installments, and 10 millions in add-ons. But some
mm,
taxations and stuff like those are still yet to be agreed, as we know that transfers from South America to Europe have more paperwork to be done in
mm,
order to be sealed, and that's
yeah,
what I believe it's making it stretch, and it's taking
yeah,
a bit more time than it should have been. And
mm,
still, it is expected that Vitor Roque will be a Barcelona player soon, and whether he
yeah,
will be joining the squad now or in January, that will be dependent on the FFP situation, whether we have enough space to register him or not. We'll
yeah,
see how things pan out. Like if there are enough sales and exits, then Vitor Roque will be registered now itself, and he could join the club for the preseason tour to USA, and
He
then
will
be with
be. He
the
will be in pre-series on Rishabh. He will be. I'm telling you. I'm telling you this. He will do pre-series on with us for sure. I think in July he'll be
I see
done.
what you did there.
Yeah. He will do pre-series on with us, and he'll be in the US. He'll be in July with us for sure. Once a couple of series are done. So
and
yeah, that's
actually Atletico Paranaense are playing a match right now against Corinthians, I believe.
and he's starting. Yeah, and
And
he's
it's
starting. I
yeah,
saw.
he started the game as it's still goalless though.
Yeah. He'll score for sure. That's there. Loving this Vitor Roque. Moving on to another youngster we're linked with, not as strongly as Vitor, is the Turkish star. Who's the name of that star? What's the name of the star, Rishabh?
Arda Güler.
And he's very cheap, isn't he? The release clause is
Yeah,
17.5
he
million.
has a 17.5 million release
Yeah,
clause with his current club Fenerbahce.
yeah, and a lot
But
of
again,
drama
I
after that.
believe Barcelona
Yeah,
will try to seal the pivot first since it is the priority right now.
yeah.
And then they do want to go for a right back as well, be it Cancelo or a young prospect like Fresneda or Arnau Martinez, although his name has died down in recent weeks and even months. Then we'll see. But the priority is the pivot right now. Then we'll see whatever the signings the club can make, but it will also depend upon the sales and exits which we can seal.
Yeah.
But right now, the priority should be the pivot because without Arda Güler, you can certainly survive next season. But without a pivot, you are not going to survive even a match or two.
That's true. That's true. I agree with you, man. I definitely agree with you. It's very important to sort certain areas of the pitch that are more important that we've struggled with in the past. So that's very important. At least we need to sort that out first. I think in the coming week we'll know. Maybe in the coming next 2 days we'll know about Brozovic and his future, and then we can of course decide accordingly. Kimmich is of course almost impossible. Zubimendi I think can be convinced once he speaks with Xavi, if that happens. He can be convinced, but his release clause is also 60 million. Although if we do manage to have a swap with Ferran, Eric, or someone like that for Zubimendi, it can maybe happen. We'll have to see that. Of course, this is all speculation, my personal speculation, not media. So we'll have to see about that. So what about exits, Rishabh? Whom do you see exiting? You have seen recently Ansu Fati also maybe turning their opinion that okay he can't stay and he wants to prove himself, and there are other exits also. So what's your take on exits for us?
Well, first of all, the priority should be to get rid of all the players who
Deadwood.
are out on loan. Well, most of them, not all of them, because I see Abde, maybe he can stay,
Yeah.
and Nico might as well leave on loan again. But the other loanees, be it Longley or Umtiti or Koyado, they definitely won't stay, and the priority should be getting rid of their salaries, their massive salaries, which was given by Bartomeu
Mm.
to Longley and Umtiti especially. Those two
Mm.
combined are set to earn more than 35 millions next season, and that's the space which we want to create right now in order to register the new signings, be it Gundogan or the other incomings which we might see in the coming weeks. And
Mm.
other exits, as far as they are concerned, I don't know who will leave right now because it's too early to say. We had rumors about the club wanting to sell Ansu Fati, but the rumors have died down now. And then Franck Kessié is still resisting us a possible exit, but we'll see because I don't know what Kessié is thinking, especially if Gundogan, after Gundogan, even Brozovic arrives at the club now because his minutes, which were already limited next season, will diminish even more next season with the arrival
Yeah.
of those two in Gundogan and
I think
Brozovic.
then he'll leave. I think then he'll leave because he'll know that he won't get any playing time.
And Ferran
I
Torres,
will like to.
again, the issue with
Well,
Ferran Torres is again the amortization because if we sell him for less than 35 millions, we are set to incur losses in our books, and that will have a
Definitely.
negative impact on our FFP. And that's the reason because Ferran Torres, even I don't know is if he wants to leave the club right now because he says that last season he didn't get a chance in preseason due to injury, and now he wants to take advantage of that and impress the club in the preseason to the USA.
I don't know. Oh, that you're saying
I'm
something season, yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure whether we should plan the next season with Ferran. I mean, the state we've seen him in last season, yeah, he wasn't really helping anyone much, right?
Yeah,
So, and we're already pretty stacked up in the forward department. I mean, we have
yeah,
Fatih, Abdes coming back, and even on the right wing we have Dembele and Rafinha, right? Even
and
Dembele can play.
Gavi also plays on the wing. So
Yeah, so even Dembele plays on the left wing, right?
yeah,
So I don't know how they're gonna plan this out, but I definitely start on the coming season without Ferran because first of all, he still has enough market to uh, get a good price out of him, right?
yeah,
So we are already missing almost like 50 to 60 millions to return to the 1-to-1 ratio in the FFP, right?
yeah, yeah.
So in a transfer like that could really help out in that sense because uh, he would not only be saving the club, but he would be saving his career as well, right?
True, true. Because he wouldn't get any playing time here, and clubs like Aston
Exactly.
Villa might be interested in Ferran Torres, and what Unai Emery is building. I think that could really benefit him. A change of scenario, a change of environment. Maybe he does revamp on his career. He's able to really gain the trust, and then of course in the national team
May-
also.
Maybe a fresh start could, I mean, it could
Exactly,
reboot his
exactly,
career.
exactly. Yeah. Fatih, Fatih does have decent goal contributions this season whenever he's come off the bench, coming off the bench. So I think he just might stay. Because of course he's insisting on that. But I think Fatih is one of the most sellable assets for us as of now.
What
I
if Vitor
think
Roque has scored for Atletico Paranaense?
Yeah, Rishabh, my boy has scored. My boy is coming to Barca. Yeah, go on, please.
I think
So,
Fatih deserves
what
another
one
chance. Is Pulkit done swooning over the goal?
Yeah,
after
So
seeing Pulkit, after seeing Pulkit, I know one thing for a fact: man in love is a different gravy, man. Man is in love with it. He cannot just hold it. He
yeah, yeah, yeah,
man, if
yeah.
he went
yeah,
on to become one of the future superstars for the club, I know who is the happiest man in the world, and it's definitely is Pulkit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love just to pivot back to Vitor for a bit. I just love, when I see that okay, he's a young star, he can really thrive, and he can really, whatever club he goes to, top club, he can really spend his decade, spend his career there, and really prove himself and have a great life for the next decade in that club, and really give his all to the club and achieve a lot of things with his club. And I
Okay,
and
so Pulkit,
when I see with a rock, I just feel I have I get that sense in my head that okay, man, he's the man for us. He's the number 9 for us. So yeah,
doesn't he have a nickname corresponding to a tiger? What is his nickname? I am just forgetting the right word.
I don't know his nickname.
Anyway,
Yes, Tigrini or something in Portuguese. It
Tigrinho,
means the
yeah,
tiger.
yeah,
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 which
Tigrinho,
is the tiger. Yeah, let's
yeah,
hope he just roar like a tiger for Barca. What else
yeah,
can we
yeah.
hope?
And I'm the eye of the tiger. So yeah, because I'm eyeing him a lot. So anyway, Srizon, you were saying about the sales,
what was I talking about? I forgot.
the player sales, Fatih and all of that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think Fatih deserves another chance, right? I think, yeah, he was injured a lot of for a lot of time in last season, but I mean, we've given Usman Dembele the benefit of the doubt for so many years, right? And
Hmm.
he eventually came to deliver, not as much as we had hoped, but he still did deliver in many of the important matches, and I'd say at least the past 2 seasons, right?
It's a good point,
So
actually. It's a good point
yeah,
that you make.
so
Rishabh,
so
your thoughts on this point? Rishabh, your thoughts on this point that Fatih should be given another chance because we were patient with Dembele also.
Well, definitely deserves a bit more chances, to be honest. He's just 20 years old and he's coming off two major injuries in his career already.
Mm,
And that
mm,
definitely has a mental block as well. And but
mm.
yeah, definitely deserves more chances, and we'll see if he gets this season because last season he definitely was the fourth or even fifth choice forward for the club, behind the likes
True.
of Lewandowski, Dembele, and Rafinha, and even Ferran Torres was ahead of him in the pecking order at times, at most of times, in
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
And
He
let's
didn't
see what
even play
happens this season
after
because I
yeah.
believe if this season Ansu Fati doesn't have good enough minutes, then his father and agent would
Yeah.
definitely force a move next season.
Yeah, I don't like his father. His comments are very weird. And you're right, actually, after we won the La Liga also, he was not starting and not even coming off the bench. It was weird. I mean, what Xavi has against him is beyond me. And but yeah, I think he's the most sellable asset if you want to sell anyone right now. He has the most market. So yeah, we'll have to see about that. Anything else you want to discuss?
Yeah, we didn't talk about the right backs.
The right back position, of course. Cancelo on loan, probably. I don't know, permanent. I wouldn't go for him on a permanent transfer, to be honest.
I
Um,
I mean, look at the player's career so far. I mean, he has done well only one under one coach, and that's Pep Guardiola, right?
hmm.
So, I mean, that's a pretty big risk if you ask me, because uh, let's look at his most recent transfer that was to Bayern, right? Bayern are known to be a place like a heaven for the wingbacks and the fullbacks, right?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
a player like even a player like defensive player like Benjamin Pavard did so well for the last few years. So even in a club like that, he couldn't convince them enough to get a permanent transfer there. I mean, if he did good enough for them, I mean, Bayern would have probably negotiated that 70 million buyout clause to maybe a bit less and try to
But
get him permanent.
there's a context she's on to that because Bayern themselves going under a lot of change in management and stuff. You know, the board is changing. That Oliver Kahn and all these people are fired. Hassan Salihamidzic, I don't know
Yeah,
how to pronounce that name. So I think with Bayern there's a lot of context. But I do get your point that he had a falling out with Pep. I think that's why he went to Bayern on loan and everything. So yeah, I wouldn't want him on a permanent deal for sure.
yeah.
But
And to
can
be
we
honest,
never?
as far as I've seen him play, the best of him, the best version of him we've seen so far actually came under Pep when he used him as a inverted left back, right?
Yeah, the last season. Yeah,
Yeah, inverted left back in the last season.
yeah.
So, I mean, he doesn't really give you that assurance that you need from a right back in this level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, at best, this could be I mean, experimental transfer in a loan plus buy option, right? So, at best, I would be okay with that. But I think we should consider looking at the more younger options like Ivan Fresneda or Arnau Martinez, because they both provide. They might not be as uh, impactful. Like they
Mm-hmm.
obviously lack in the uh, experience department, but I mean, it could prove us. It could benefit us on the long run better.
Also, Rishabh, the Monaco right back is Anderson is his name. I'm forgetting. Whom we want to go for next year.
It's Rangers, in fact.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we'll go for him next season, I believe. So Cancelo on loan this season does not make it does make a lot of sense. So then we can go for the Monaco guy next year.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed more probable than either Arnau or Fresneda. I mean, the rumor was much more stronger, and we actually have a lot more appeal to the Brazilian players than other usual clubs. I mean, look at
True,
the
true,
history. So many
true.
Brazilian
Yeah.
legends have played for us. So it could have give us an advantage in that department. You never know.
Yeah.
Rishabh, your thoughts on the right back position?
Well, to be very honest, the right back market is probably the most dead market in the whole transfer
Yeah.
market right now.
Yeah.
There are hardly any good players available for the budget which we have, and Joao Cancelo fits into one of those players who fits into that category. And but to be honest, Cancelo's record at other clubs other than Manchester City under Pep Guardiola is pretty average, be it at
Hmm.
Valencia or even Juventus or
Juventus.
even Bayern Munich recently. And he
Hmm.
also has those off the field issues due to which he was, Pep Guardiola got rid of him.
Hmm.
Then what else? I mean, I definitely take him on a deal such as a loan and with a buy option for next summer, but that
Hmm.
won't be more than 25 or 30 millions if I'm putting a buy option into the deal or something. I mean, I'm taking
Hmm.
him on loan definitely, but
Hmm.
among
But
other
not on a
options as
permanent one.
well, the other options as well, Fresneda is there, Arnau Martinez is there, and the profiles which Xavi wants, such as Foyt and get rid of Feyenoord, and they will be pretty expensive, both of them. And then
Hmm.
we've got Fresneda and Arnau Martinez, who are pretty young, but with so many youngsters in the squad. I mean, the other fullback in the squad, Balde, is only 19 years old. Both centre backs, Kunde and Araujo, only 23, 24 years old. That's why I won't
Hmm.
blame the club for wanting more experience in the squad right now. That's
True.
why, I mean, they might want someone like Cancelo to be in the squad to be at attacking right back, because we already have two great defending right backs to center backs, obviously, who can play at right back in Kunde and Araujo, and they defend pretty well. But
Hmm.
to maximize Rafinha, actually, you need an attacking right back like Joao Cancelo, because
Yeah.
we know that Rafinha is not the kind of dribbler like Usman Dembele. He likes to cut inside, and to open up the space on that side, you need
Hmm.
an
Hmm.
attacking
Hmm.
right back like Cancelo. And so,
Hmm.
if an attacking right back is signed, then Rafinha would be the most beneficial of that, and then we'll see what
That's true.
happens.
That's
But right
true.
now, I don't think any kind of deal is advanced with anyone,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the
I think
entire
pivot
focus is right now
position.
on
Yeah.
on Brozovic, especially right now.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
we'll see
Yeah.
what happens after that.
Yeah.
And
So
we
we'll
even
see what
have
happens.
Sergino Dest coming back. I don't know what happens with him. And then Julian Araujo is also there. He might get a
I
chance or
think.
two in pre-season, and if he impresses, then we'll see what happens.
I think. Of course,
At,
Dest will not be
at
given a
last, you
chance.
mentioned,
Go on, go on.
at last, the Mexican right back is mentioned by Pulkit. We
Yeah.
got a Mexican right back recently, and we are not even willing to give him a chance. We are thinking about an attacking right back. Well, that is the guy. Let's see what wonders Javi has done with him for the past 6 months. He's training with the first team. I don't think Barca will go very far for a right back because we have recently bought one. And if you think how Javi is playing recently, that's a 3-2-2-3 situation in which Balde is going very up. So I don't think we are going for an attacking right back. And if an attacking right back is needed for any game, then Julian Arau comes into the first team because he has been training with them for many times. We have seen that he has bonded well with the team. Let's see how well that is just drawn onto the pitch. He is a good
Okay,
overlapping player, as you mentioned.
okay. Vitor
So,
Roque has scored again.
Yeah. I love you,
Pulkit,
man. I'm dancing
which
already.
one? Which one? Which one? Rishabh or Victor? Rishabh or Victor? Which one, Pulkit? Choose one.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
You said I love you, man. To whom? To Victor Rook or to Miss Rishabh for telling you this?
I love all of you, man, but I love Vitor more. That's the thing. I mean, it's wonderful. I love it when he scores, and
Man,
yeah,
man in love is just different, man.
yeah. Guys, I'm getting a call. I have to go. So you guys continue. You guys carry
Okay.
on. Yeah. So take care, guys.
Okay,
Bye.
okay, I will leave the duty as the host now.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have, we have discussed every arrival, but we haven't discussed the most important one. That's the appointment of Deco. What's your thought on that? Everyone, please tune in with their thoughts one by one. Rishabh, you start.
Yeah, of course. I think Deco is a very good uh, addition to our sporting management because you can see the guy is very experienced in the football world. He has been an agent for almost 8 years, and the fact that he chose to leave that uh, established career and chose to join us over that, it's very it's a a big privilege for us that our legends care about us so much that they choose to even change their careers just to help the club out, right? So, for that reason, I think it's a it's a very important move for our uh, considering our situation because we cannot go. Our financial situation doesn't really help us to go after the biggest names in the market right now, and we might have to look for the odd, low key signings that are available in the market. And Deco certainly has that the knowledge and the experience in the market to find us those targets, right? Like he found us Vitor Roque. I mean, we already got outmuscled financially in the Endrick deal a few months ago, and in the on that situation, he found us someone like him. And most recently, we even found Arda Guler, right? So Arda Guler, I mean, these targets, right? So these targets really show that Deco knows what he's doing. He knows the kind of profile, the specific profile of players Barcelona needs right now, and how to get them at a cost um, a at a financial from a thinking from a financial prospect that that could help the club, right? So yeah, I mean, in all, it's a very good uh, addition to the sporting management, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I will go. So talking about Debo, I think like the experience he possesses as a football knowledge in his career that we all have seen. And talking about his like when he has taken this job as a technical expertise, I can say he also get the network and the contacts that we will be seeing like when we say like building relationships or the networks in the footballing world. I think it will be helping with that a lot. And moreover, we are seeing that the young footballing prospects that getting linked to Barca. I think we are seeing the early stages that Deco can help this club in, and I think that will be a very good future additions to this club. And that's it. And moreover, Rishabh can take care of that. What are your say on this Deco as a sporting that addition to the sporting management?
Rishabh, what are your thoughts on the appointment of Deco?
Well, first of all, when he was appointed, or the rumors came that he will be appointed as the new sporting director to replace. First it was as the replacement for Alimani. At that time, I was definitely skeptical about the deal, what was happening, and all, because Deco and Jordi Cruyff together, I was not too confident about that the club was moving in the right direction or not. But right now, Deco as a scout and Alimani as the negotiator, I feel it's very good because we already knew that Deco had good contacts in South America, and we saw last season how well he pushed to for Rafinha to join the club, and he also held in the deal to sign Vitor Roque. And the initial signs are really good because the rumors which we have heard in the media in recent days that Deco wants the club to sign Arda Güler, then he's pushing for Brozovic, and he even put the names of players like Florentino Luis or Joao Palhinha, and he was the one who removed the name of Sufyan Amrabat from the club's radar. And I feel as though those moves are really good. And now the official announcement might take place around the first week of July. And he has already dissociated himself from from his agency, and that is a big sacrifice which he's making for the club. And we wish him the best, and we hope that he becomes the next Shiki or something like that, and brings the club to where it should be.
Exactly. I mean, uh, if you think the kind of sacrifice he's making just to get here, it's it's a big privilege for us. I mean, not many of our even, uh, I mean, you could say even some of the, uh, many of our players not even would not even consider to do something like this. I mean, it's such a big risk, right?
And
I mean,
another thing which we heard in the media last season, that Deco didn't even charge a commission for the transfer of Rafinha to Barcelona, and that is another big thing which we must take into notice, because for all these kind of big transfers, agents usually take millions in commissions and all, but Deco didn't charge anything.
yeah, that's so that's so much. That's such an honor for us, right? So we wish him actually absolute the absolute best, because it's a big job, right? I mean, it's always a big job at Barcelona, because it doesn't matter who you are, the expectation is high, and you always have to be on your toes about everything. You have to be up to date about everything. You have to remain vigilant in the market about everything, because our situation is not what it was even 4 or 5 years ago. We are financially much more limited now, and we have to look for opportunities in the market that fit in with our capabilities at the moment. So, in that sense, Deco's, and I mean, we could not have found many more better people in the Jordi Cruyff in the position of the Jordi Cruyff to occupy that position and look for players within our parameters. So, yeah, Abhijit, would you like to add something to this?
You guys have pretty much covered everything, but yeah, as you have mentioned that Deco did many things for Barcelona, I will like to say that Barcelona as a club has been blessed with many players who just don't wear the badge on the t-shirt, but they wear that in their hearts. We have a numerous example of people who have done too many things for club after even retiring or even after playing, stop playing from the club. So there is a good connection. There is a fan base which love them so much. Which our love to them so much that they feel connected to us. Then that's one of the best things for our club. And as you mentioned, we are not as good as in good situation we were in 5 years ago. Look, good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. But then hard times also create strong men, and those strong men take the responsibility to create good times. So hope that our best is yet to come, and we are again at the pinnacle of the footballing world.
Yeah,
So and
absolutely. Amen to that. So, yeah, and Rishabh, uh, is there any topic we left that has not been discussed?
I guess no, I believe no. And that's it. That's it for this week, and we'll see next week again.
let's hope, man. We have done this after many times, cancelled many times. So let's just not cancel it anymore and just make it a tradition. For every Saturday night, we are here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And
definitely. We are very with this after a year also. I think we
And
need
yet,
to. Yeah.
let's just hope by the time we return next week, there's at least a strong rumor about signing a pivot, because
or
starting,
we have already signed one. Let's hope for
yeah,
the best. We have already signed one.
yeah, the best would be a brother with signing for us, right?
he is a priority target, so we should definitely sign him. And we, if by the then this time next week we are not sure on Brozovic, then I don't think he will come because we have to act quick on him. That's the necessity.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So
Rishabh, it's you
let's
for now.
okay. So
That's
Rishabh,
it
let's
for
do the
tonight. Then
conclusion now.
good night.
Good night, guys.
And we have some viewers coming in who were big fan of Pulkit because I can say Pulkit been spammed in the comment section. There is one Sasank Sekhar who has in Pulkit who has mentioned Pulkit I think twice, and the
Yeah,
man is lost without even responding to him. So Sasank, on the behalf of Pulkit, we all say hi to you, and I hope that you enjoyed our conversation, and we will see you another time too. So now let's conclude the meeting or chat. What can we say? On a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
note, we will see you guys.
yeah. We can see the comments right that is highlighted here. So yeah.
Uh,
So that's all from this week. We will wrap it up here, and let's hope to
And let's
meet
hope
you
that
again.
by this time next week, if we join here, then by that time we get a here we go for Vitor Roque as well as Marcelo Brozovic. And we also hope to see some exits by then.
if we get
yeah.
here, we go for makeup. Then Pulkit will do live dance on the street. Be
At
scared
least,
of that.
at least Umtiti and Lenglet should be out of the club, man. I mean, these guys have been there. They're like forever.
Yeah. And let's hope more of our friends join have time to join too because as there are more companions, the fun will be double or triple.
Yes,
Let's see.
of course.
So let's wrap it. Someone do the conclusion text and just go home because we are badly missing a good host.
No, Rishabh is there with us. So we are wrapping it up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's wrap it
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. So bye, guys. This was the week.